Welcome to the Tarot Coven Cast. Real people, real talk, real magic. Hello out there, lovely listeners, and welcome to the Tarot Coven Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Jasmine.
I'm Elena.
And this time on the show, we're revisiting the court cards. These 16 cards are what many people consider to be the most difficult cards in the deck to work with, so we're going to look at them through a different lens each season. In season 1, we explored them through the realm of elements, and this time around, we're going to be diving into their unique personalities. But first, I just want to acknowledge the fact you probably have recognized that Jekanovia is not here with us tonight, but you know what? We gave her a night off. We said, you earned it. Go chill, go get an early night's sleep. What many listeners probably don't know is that we record on a Thursday night, and then Jekanovia's got to wake up at like 2:30 in the morning the next day to do all of her in-town stuff, and that's nuts. And so we were like, you know what? Just go get some sleep. So we miss you. We wish you were here, but we hope you're getting a good rest.
Yes.
And we also want to give a little shout out to Lori R. for joining us over on the Patreon. Thank you so much for joining the coven over there. Much love to you. And if you'd like your own shout out on the show, which you can use to promote your Instagram, your podcast, or the Instagram or a podcast you really love, it's totally up to you what you use your shout out for. Come check us out on our Patreon page for more details. All right, Elena, are you ready to dive into these court cards?
I am. I'm excited because I've always struggled with the court cards, and
Same.
I feel like well, what's helped me is writing out like the notes of each personality, because then I can kind of think of people around me or people at work, or just so I can relate it to the cards, and then it makes it easier to remember the meaning. So
totally,
I am excited about this episode because I feel like I learned a lot. It was a nice refresher. So I'm excited to share what we have.
Same here. Yeah, it's been so long since I've really sat down and thought about the court cards in a different way. And yeah, let's do it. So we're going to start with the wands, and we're going to start with the page, of course. So some characteristics. I was thinking it's a very free-spirited type of person, adventurous. They're ready to try new experiences. They're like a very energetic type personality. I see this page as like the person that's always smiling. And so maybe they're a little too optimistic for some people, you know, like somebody like me who is like, no, we need to feel our feels sometimes, like stop being so positive.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like the person that can always put that positive spin on a situation, which is so helpful in so many ways, right? I also see, like, when you're looking at the Smith-Waite version, at least, of the Page of Wands, I feel like the way that they're dressed is so much more stylish than the rest of the court cards. So I see the page as having great style, like really unique style. They're super trendy, they're ahead of trends, making their own trends, that kind of thing. And of course, I mean, because they're a fire element, I just see them as being super passionate as well.
Yes.
So actually, I should have mentioned this up top, but I'll just mention it now. For each of the cards, we're kind of going to go through some characteristics, who they might be in real life, and then some potential like jobs or careers that they might have. And so for me, when I was thinking about who they might be in real life, I actually did TV characters because I feel like I know more TV characters than actual people. So for the page, I wrote down Kimmy Schmidt from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. She just has this like, there's a real enthusiastic quality to everything that Kimmy does. Like she's just ready to take on the world with a smile on her face, no matter what gets in her way. She's naive, but she's not stupid. She's just seeing the world through those fresh, really excited eyes. And she just is full of energy. And then my second pick was Virginia from Claws, who has this like confidence and this unique style that I've never seen another character have. And she's just kind of always open to wherever the day is going to take her. Like she's, again, just sort of meeting life's challenges with a big smile on her face.
There's another page that I kind of, when you said that they have their own personal style, I'm like, yes, I see that in another page too.
Okay.
And I feel like I can definitely see them together. Like, that's my shopping, like my shopping buddy, like
Ooh,
shopping
I like
buddies.
that. Okay, I can't wait to get to
Yeah.
that one then. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so some jobs or careers for the Page of Wands. I think that they would be really good working with kids because they just have that like really energetic quality and they're kind of working with their inner child at all times, I think. They might be a great tour guide or a stylist.
Ooh, that'd be cool. I also see them as maybe like into sports. So maybe like if
Oh,
they're a
yeah.
young, like maybe they're like some kind of assistant coach or something, like, or something that has to do with competitive, I feel like.
Totally. Yeah, that fire
Yeah.
energy and just the fact that they have so much energy and passion for stuff like that. I could totally see that coming through with sports. Yeah. Good call. Okay, so let's move on to the Knight of Wands. So I kind of feel like for characteristics, like the Knight of Wands is somewhat similar to the Page, but to me, the Page feels a little bit more passive, whereas the Knight is more active. Like we can see that in the card itself, right? The Page is just standing and looking at the wand. The Knight is on the horse and like taking flight. Yeah, so just a little bit more active. I see the Knight as a risk taker, kind of just the person that's willing to give anything a go, you know? They can be a little bit goofy from time to time, but they're totally charming, socially adaptable, always ready to take action on things. I feel like they might be the kind of person that has a harder time seeing things through though. Like they might be like ready to go, but then not willing to see it through all the way. So in that way, they might lack a little bit of patience. They might be a bit impulsive. And I feel like there's a sense to this Knight where they want to appear a little tougher than they actually are. And they are capable, they're tough, but they definitely have a sensitive side that maybe they're kind of hiding at that moment or when you pull that card, essentially. So for who they could be in real life, I have chosen Bobby Briggs from Twin Peaks. If anybody knows this character, you know he's impulsive, you know he's the bad boy, but he is so charming. And I think that this is that representation of like the bad boy with the tough exterior that has like just the softest side once you get to know them. And he's actually, and he's always taking action on whatever new scheme he's cooking up, he's always ready to go with it, but he kind of has a hard time seeing things through. And then I also chose Angel from Pose because I also think that like the Knight of Wands, when a Knight of Wands walks into the room, it's impossible not to notice. Like they just have a presence. And Angel definitely has that presence, like total entertainer vibes, but still that vulnerability under the tougher shell. And then so for jobs and careers, I was thinking like anything in entertainment. So acting, dancing, a model, or even like a comedian, that kind of thing.
Ooh, that would be cool. Like a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I think so.
I've always wanted to do that.
Oh my God, you really should. I think you should.
No. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, you have your Jesus set.
I know I have a Jesus set. Oh my God. A Mary Magdalene set.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Holy.
I think that would be so good.
Oh my God.
Totally. I mean, I kind of see Knight of Wands as having a little bit of that Sag energy, you know, like they're always wanting to start stuff. They've got that energy, but not necessarily about like, it's not always for the long haul, but they're always up for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a little goofy, I think that's but like why fun.
I think this is the Knight that I relate to the most, to be completely honest.
Right. Yeah.
Because of this. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I totally see myself in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally see it. I also think the Knight has great style because if you're looking at the Smith Waite, it is wearing like the Knight is wearing a very similar outfit to the Page, even though the armor is underneath it. But that's why I think like they have that like outer exterior, but there's so much more underneath happening.
I love that. I never really thought of it that way until you were speaking about how they're soft once you get to know them, or have a soft side once you get to know
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
I'm
total
like,
soft
yeah,
side.
you're right.
And I mean, look
Because
at
they're
that like red feathery kind of thing that's coming out of the helmet. That's like I just see them as like, I don't know. They walk into a
fancy.
room and you know that they're there. Like they're totally putting on a performance, but it's all from love, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm going for.
Maybe to inspire,
Yes, absolutely.
just to be different, stand out.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's that too. Like they're definitely their same kind of thing as the page. Like I think they have their own unique
Yeah,
style. I don't think they're trying to imitate anybody else, and they don't need
right.
to because they have that presence. Okay, so let's move on to the Queen of Wands, who I just think is the witch of the tarot deck. Like if you think about the elements, like the Queen of Wands is of course fire, but if you think of queens as having the water element too, and then you think of the mixture of fire and water. I mean,
Mhm.
that's alchemy. That's magic. I mean,
Yes.
so I think they're a very magical personality. I think that it's a very authentic personality, very comfortable in their own skin. It's still the fire element, so they still have that thirst for experience, but I think it's just become a little bit more defined. They don't need to act on everything, you know? They know what
Mhm.
they like. This is the person that is always hustling, but never in a competitive way. It's only competitive with themselves. Like they're not in competition with other people. In fact, I think they lift other people as they're climbing, like they want everyone to succeed just as much as they are.
Right.
I could see this as like the friend that is always hosting the parties, total party host. A person that always has a new story because they've just done so many random things. And there's just, I think to all of the wands, there's just like an indescribable quality. They just have that presence, like I was talking about with the knight. But with the queen, like when you think about them or when you meet them, you just get a vibe that's kind of, you know
Yes.
what I mean? Like it's kind of hard to put words to, but
I feel like with the wands, like you said, they're each very different, and like they bring something unusual, like, and they're not
yes.
afraid of it, and they don't feel
Yes.
shame. They don't
Exactly.
feel, they're proud of it, and they never apologize for being themselves. They're like, what is that? Unapologetically yourself or whatever, when someone's
Yes,
unapologetic. Yeah,
totally.
that's how I feel like the wands like the court cards are. Like
Yes,
they're
I
going to do
agree.
whatever the F they want. They're going to wear
Mhm.
whatever they want, and they're comfortable in their own. They're not doing it for someone else, they're doing it for themselves. And in turn,
Exactly. Yeah.
they inspire other people like, oh, I want to do that too. Like, I want to be that too, because they're not coming off as competitive against them. They're just coming off as, like you said, they're in competition with themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, it really does inspire you to be the most authentic version of yourself as well. Yeah, and I feel like as you move throughout the wands courts, like the uniqueness becomes more defined and refined. And I would say also with the queen, this is the kind of person like don't cross their loved ones. Like they will come for you. They're the nicest person until you cross them. They will come for you. It will be over for you.
Yes.
And I think that, and this might be true of all of the wands, but when they lose sight of their passion, they can kind of be the worst because they're just like without that direction and without that purpose, they're just kind of annoying.
Yes. Because I feel like they don't know where to put that energy into
Exactly.
or yeah, they don't know
Yes.
how to tame it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's
It's
all
too
over
much
the place.
excess fiery shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
know.
right. So who could they be in real life? I got another Twin Peaks character for you, of course. So I'm always reminded of Dale Cooper when I pull the Queen of Wands because there's this like mix of intuition and confidence and intelligence that just gives
Mhm.
Dale this unique presence amongst the people that he works with. And he very much has an adventurous spirit, but it's like so specific to him, which is why I wouldn't say that he's a page or a knight, but he has become more refined in that like unique sort of flavor.
Mm.
And he's very loyal. So going back to what I was saying about like don't cross their loved ones, I always see like for some reason I see that cat. Like I know people have different takes on what the cat means, but to me that
Mhm.
just gives me that sense of loyalty and that sense of connection. And I think that Dale really shows that. Like if you talk shit about his best friend, he is not here for it. So and then I also see Beth Pearson from This Is Us. She has this real like, okay, try me attitude, you know, like she's not afraid to be, again, unapologetically who she is. She knows her stuff and she's not easily thrown off, but she is also that person where like when she's lost her passion, she's kind of unhinged a little bit. So she's got to figure out where to direct that fire. And then in terms of like jobs and careers, I wrote down, I mean, witch. This is the witch. They might be a party planner. And I think most of all, the Queen of Wands is somebody that works for themselves, no matter what they do.
Mm.
All right. So moving on to the King of Wands. Some characteristics. They're a visionary. They're a trailblazer. They're driven by a need to leave an impact. You know, they're also somebody that lifts as they climb. They're the kind of boss who still really does the dirty work that their employees also do. They're sort of like honorable in that way and a real pillar in their community. I think they have high standards and can be a little bit controlling. There's still that like impulsive fire quality as well, but again, doesn't see themselves as being better than anybody else, but is very clearly at a higher position because they've worked so hard to get there. Like you can tell that they've put in the hours.
Right. And they've like really, because they're so fueled by that fire inside, that inspiration. So it's like they've been through shit, like they've experienced shit. So they have wisdom to speak on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have real world, like real life idea, like real life shit to talk about.
Yeah. So my character for this one is Jamie Fraser from Outlander. And I said, like, when he doesn't let his fire get the best of them, he really sees the bigger picture of every situation and helps to, and uses that to kind of create a better world for his people. And he's that king that doesn't put himself on a pedestal. Like he is still doing very much, like he's doing a lot of the dirty work. He does not see himself as better than anybody else, but he really does see himself as having this opportunity to make things better for people and leave the world like a better, more progressive place than when he came, I guess. So, yeah.
I like that. It just reminded me of a boss that I used to have that came in, knew it was a shit show, and like just had that presence when you walk in a room. And then when she spoke, you listened. Like you were just
right.
It was just like, and that's what it reminds me of. She's totally King of Wands, like, because she came in, tells you what needs to be done, inspires you to, like, she'll show you how to start something and then inspires you to get your brain thinking. And then you put in the rest of the ideas. Like, I don't know, but she just popped in my head.
That makes perfect sense. I totally see that. Yeah.
Delegating and just, helping people.
Yeah. And I like one of the jobs or careers that I put down was like a high level management type position, like somebody that's working on the bigger picture of things for sure. I also see King of Wands as being like the director or the showrunner, somebody like the creative mind behind television or film in general. And like the CEO of a company that really grew from nothing. So this is the person that they were the page and they made a startup and they've built their way to the top.
I like that idea. I can see that. I hella see that. We're going to dive into the cups next.
Yeah.
And so for the Page of Cups, this is the page that I was talking about earlier that I feel like can be flamboyant or can be fashionable.
Totally. Yeah.
Yes. Like they have that style, that, I don't know, that go-to friend that where you're like, I'm going to go on a date and I want to look hot. What do you think I should wear? Or I'm going to go on this. Yeah. Like I'm going to go on this interview, but I want to look cute, but I want to look, professional. What do I wear? Like, I don't know. I feel like this is the page. They're intuitive. They're dreamers. I feel like they're the most sensitive of the pages. They have that like romantic energy. They're shy, introverted, very cooperative, helpful, very helpful. They do wear their heart on their sleeve. They always need stimulation. So I feel like they can get bored easily. So if they're not productive or doing something that stimulates the mind, I think they're going to check out like real easily. So they always need to, I feel like, keep up on something that inspires them because they like to daydream and
Yeah.
think of things that, on the impossible. And then who can they be in real life? I was thinking it's that peacemaker of the family or the friends group. Like that, because they want, they're quiet, they're shy, they want everything to be kind of like at peace. So I feel like
Yeah.
when they don't feel comfortable around the drama or the issues or the conflict. So I feel like they're the peacemakers of
Yeah.
the group. Yeah. And then for jobs or careers, I was thinking of something along the lines of poetry or an artist, maybe a fashion designer or interior design, something where they can put their ideas out there, their creativity. Maybe someone that likes to go fishing or who's a fisherman
Yeah.
or fisher person. A student, college student, a stylist, maybe a personal stylist.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like a high school counselor, a mediator, or I think a camp counselor, or like a girl or a boy scout, or just like a school teacher. I think that those kind of jobs keep them like they can show like with teachers or like, you're creative, you can inspire other, the kids to be creative, but then you're
Yeah.
also like with fashion designers, you're putting your ideas on people or like you're inspiring a new look on someone. And
Yeah.
poets, you're expressing yourself through words. You can put your whatever you're daydreaming about, what is that word? I can't think of that word when your imagination. How in the hell can I think of that word? Listen, listeners, I've been like
It's been a day. It's been a few days. It's been
it's been a
many
few
days.
days.
Yeah.
It's been many days. My brain is like, I don't know if I have a brain.
That's fair. You definitely do.
It's there. I feel like it's been rattled somewhere in there. But yeah. So
Nice.
for the next court card we are talking about is the Knight, Knight of Cups. So for the characteristics, I feel like they're very likable because they're so charming. So I feel like they just know how to adapt to any social situation, and they know they're good with words. So they can come up with like any topic to talk about. Like they're easy with small talk.
Mm-hmm. I totally see them as like a smooth talker too. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
they can kind of just ease their way in and say all of the right things, which can be good and bad, right? But
right.
yeah.
Like they're the ones that's going to promise you everything, wine and dine you. And it could be good or it could be bad. Like, how do you know they're not doing this with 5 other people? You don't know.
Exactly. Which is cool if you're into that. But if you think it's just you and all of a sudden, yeah.
And we got some problems.
Yeah.
So pull some extra cards and see. So yeah, they're charming. I feel like when they need to be, they love to travel. They're a seeker. So like I feel like they're also optimistic. Like with the Knight of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
They can be a performer for others, enthusiastic, emotionally needy. I feel like they can be.
Yeah, I would say like moody, all of that, jealousy, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, they can be. They can turn into that, I feel. And then who can they be in real life? That bestie that gets jealous when you make a new friend. I feel
totally. Oh my God. Yes.
Yes, that one best friend that she's like, bitch, you can only talk to me.
Yes.
You can be cordial with that girl, but if I catch you going to lunch with her, it's a wrap. We're going to have some problems. I've been there, y'all.
I feel like I've been that moody, jealous friend that's like gets all pouty and is like, well, why don't you want to hang out with me though? Like,
right?
It comes from a place of, I think, just sensitivity and like a little bit of insecurity. But when it comes out, it's like it can be really ugly.
True. I see it. jobs or, possible careers for the Knight of Cups of, again, artistry, songwriters.
Ooh.
Maybe they're a veterinarian. Yeah, I like the songwriter aspect. I think they can even be in the adult industry. Like for me, when I was
Mm.
writing my notes, I'm like thinking, this is an entertainer, this is a show person. I don't know. Like, I feel like they can be like a stripper, like, or a dancer.
Totally. Yes. Oh my God.
Like, what are
That's
those
so
go-go dancers
funny.
too? Yes,
Like,
like something like that.
what do they say? Big cup, big penis or whatever.
Yes, there we go.
Like, I think
I'm
that could
so
have been,
dead.
I could have made that better, but like, oh, big shoe size, but this instead it's like big cup size.
I know, right? Cup size matters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yes.
but because of that, I feel like maybe this Knight of Cups has their OnlyFans. Like, they have their OnlyFans page and that's how they make their
Yes.
money on the side.
Yes. Yep.
I also see them as actors, actresses, singers, and also healthcare heroes. Um,
Ooh.
yeah. So for the Queen of Cups characteristics, I feel like she is, I don't know why that's, reserved. I don't know why that I was going to say reversed, but she's reserved. She's headstrong. She's a visionary, intelligent, kind, honest. She's very in tune with her emotions. So because she's very empathic, so she's in tune with everyone else's emotions, especially like her inner circle, her family. So she's very understanding.
Hmm.
Because she knows, like, she's been through some shit. She knows how it feels to have gone through certain situations and been through trauma or hurt. So she's very understanding in situations and what you're going through. I feel like she can be very psychic. I think she's the most psychic. I think she's the most psychic of the deck. I really feel it. I feel
Ooh,
like
up
she's the
against
psychic of the
High
deck.
Priestess?
Yeah, like I feel like her and the High
Really?
Priestess, I don't know, like something about this Queen of Cups, like I just feel like there's more to her. Maybe I'm
Totally.
like,
I see
yeah,
I feel like they're sisters or they're cousins or something. Like they're definitely the
something.
same family. Absolutely.
Right. Just
Yeah.
like how I had told you and Jekanovia that I feel the Empress and the Emperor are like the ancestors to the whole Pentacle suit.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like I feel like the High Priestess, maybe the Magician too, but I feel like the High
Yeah,
Priestess for sure is like related to the Queen of Cups.
I think so too. Yeah, I totally see that.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, listeners, I didn't mean to go off on that,
No,
but
I think that's such a good point though.
yeah. So I think this queen is really attractive, and she
Mm.
makes friends really easily. I think people just gravitate towards her. I think mainly because of her, she's just attractive and she's also really good with words and she's a good conversationalist. But she also likes her space. She likes her privacy. And that's why I feel like that's when she really likes to tune everything out and be with her higher self. And that's why she's like so psychic and so in tune with the universe and
Totally.
spirit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
she definitely takes time to like go away to her own little mind island, let's say, and like she
Mhm.
knows how to rest and retreat basically.
Yes. So, who can they be in real life? I feel like can be that go-to friend or family, or even that if you have that go-to boss that knows how to put you at ease when things are like very chaotic in your life or just in the work field. Like, it doesn't even have to be a boss. It could just be that friend. Like, I know I have that one person when things are kind of like not going the way I want it to be. I know that there's a coworker I can go to
Right.
who is not as emotionally as like upset as I get sometimes, that knows how to like calm down, talk me through the situation so that I can
Yeah.
calm my emotions down through it. So I feel like they're just very good with advice. And let's see.
Well, I thought I would share my TV pick with you for this one
Oh,
because I think you'll
yes.
actually know the character. So you've seen Coven from American Horror Story? You've seen that season?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Cordelia, like the mama witch, like she's
Yeah.
she's Coven High Priestess basically.
She really is. You're right. And
I
because she has that mama bear quality, but she's
I
also
wrote
the
down
witch.
mama bear, but yeah, like exactly.
Wild.
Yeah, she's got that like, and when you were talking about that person that you can just make friends with, like they kind of attract you in, and it's that person that you can cry on their shoulder. And I feel like Cordelia in that way is like really just she'll love on you when you need it, you know?
Perfect. Because even in that show, like all those girls were a hot mess and they were all a
Yeah.
bitch to her, but she really knew how to bring out the best in each one, you
Yeah,
know?
and she was just still always there for them, and like they didn't really, I mean the only person that could shake her was her mother, but that's a
Of
whole other story.
course.
So,
Exactly. Our
you know.
moms will always shake us.
Yes.
So, possible jobs, careers for the Queen of Cups. I was thinking a healer, like a spiritual, like one of those spiritual yogis,
Yeah.
um, a therapist, or like a sex marriage counselor or sex marriage
Mhm.
therapist. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I feel like it's anybody that, because I also, for another TV pick here, I also had another character from Pose who is basically, it's Blanca for anybody that watches that show, who is basically just another mother figure. So I kind of feel like, I
Mm,
mean, mother is a job to me. I think that mothers are so
for
amazing in
sure.
the work that they do and are pretty, like, they're just so unsung. But anybody that kind of takes on that role for you, I feel like, you know?
Yeah, totally. That's a very hard role to take.
Yeah.
All right. And so, King of Cups, we have some of the characteristics. He's warm. The King of Cups is honest, fair. I feel like their female and male energy is balanced, which makes them very loving and generous and compassionate. They're like the queen. He's very understanding, especially of like of the situation or of what you're going through. Very emotionally intelligent, respected. Can be that strong, silent type. But sometimes I feel
Ooh,
like they
yeah.
can get, yeah. Sometimes I feel like they can be withdrawn. Like they don't like to always express their emotions, like the Page of Cups. So I don't feel like the King of Cups always wears their heart on their sleeve. And I also feel like he's very psychic. Can be a homebody, someone that kind of likes to stay at home. And they're very family oriented. I feel like this is the king that if you fuck with his family, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a huge wrap because he makes sure that everyone in the house is good. Everyone in the house is taken care of. Everyone not only just has food in their belly, clothes on their back, like this king makes sure you're emotionally good. Like your mental health is in check. This person makes sure I feel like you're just taken care of from top to bottom. So that's why I
Mhm.
feel like if you fuck with the family of the King of Cups, you just fucked up big time.
Yeah, agreed.
um, yeah, that is that person that doesn't like to get mad, but when they have to defend themselves, they don't like it, but they do it in a
Yes.
way that you're like, I just fucked up. I pissed
Yeah.
off the wrong
Yeah.
person.
And it's like it's such an even-keeled reaction too. I feel like they don't like fly off the handle, but they tell you what's what in a way where you're like, "Oh shit. Like I look like a real jackass."
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. But who can they be in real life? I feel like this person always has a drink in their hand at parties. Like they love to drink and not like in a bad way. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess if in reverse could mean alcoholic,
Yeah,
but
maybe. Yeah.
maybe with the temperance in reverse in there, maybe. But loves a glass of wine in the evenings too, like a little fancy glass of wine. That also like that go to friend for a shoulder to cry on. Great listener with like no judgments.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like this is also a loyal friend, especially to have during a crisis and you really need support. I feel like this is the person that's going to help you through, like mentally through a crisis. And then types of jobs and careers. I kind of see this person as a CEO, maybe not as like how the King of Wands started a company from the bottom to the top, but maybe just somebody who's been in a company and has grown their way to the top.
Mhm.
Can be a doctor. I think this person can be into politics, maybe a little bit political, but not a politician.
Yeah.
Um, I also feel like this person is an entertainer or in the entertainment business. Again, like I think this is a guru of some kind, a yogi, like a spiritual daddy. or a spiritual mama, a counselor of some kind, of any kind, a social worker maybe, or like a case
Oh, I like
manager.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. hmm Someone, with social work or case manager is just someone I feel like that just knows how to give you the resources to keep you, to get your life back in check and keep you safe.
Yeah, 100%.
Or they're involved in youth groups, or maybe they're a foster parent. Medium, I
Yeah.
feel like this person is very psychic. And again, maybe this person's a writer of some kind or an actor.
Nice. All right, so I'm going to dive into the pentacles, and I just want everyone to know ahead of time that these are Jekanovia's notes. She was going to join us, but last minute scheduling stuff. So if I'm, like tripping over these words, or if I don't understand who she's talking about, it is what it is. We're just going to roll with it. So let's kick things off with the Page of Pentacles. Some characteristics: spendthrift, a new career path or job. It's somebody that's mature for their age or very down to earth. Maybe they're financially focused, which can be healthy or unhealthy. Could be a low-key con artist, or at least a sneaky salesperson looking for commission. I love it.
That.
An opportunist, which is not always a bad thing. You can sometimes turn something shitty into a positive thing. They could be a dedicated coworker, which again could become a workaholic. They're enthusiastic about creating stability. They're very practical, possibly a gambler. So in real life, they might be the charismatic business student, the friend who grounds you back into reality, that kid who invested the profits from their lemonade stand when they were 7 and is now paying their tuition with it. Some jobs and careers: startup entrepreneur, assistant manager, accountant, somebody that works for charity or not for profit. Or actually what she said was a founder or a worker at a charity or not for profit, an apprentice in a trade. And then she's also actually given a character I guess this would be a real life person. So Jekanovia has said that this is Charles Dickens, who was known to be frivolous with his money, but was always very generous with charity. Always wanted the best of the best for his family, sometimes to the detriment of his wallet. And she says, if you know the story behind a Christmas Carol, you may see this pattern as well. Ooh, okay. That was cool. I don't know much about Dickens, but I totally see, the explanation definitely fitting with that energy.
I don't know why this popped in my head when you were talking about assistant manager, but The Office popped in my head.
Okay, yeah.
And Jim, I thought about Jim, and I don't know why I thought he would be the Page of Pentacles, but he just popped in my head. I don't know if you
totally
watched The
see
Office.
that too, especially for the part when Jekanovia was saying, like, also being that like startup energy, because Jim winds up doing that, right? And he's kind of always behind the scenes until he's able to break through. So, I mean, not like behind the scenes of the show, but he's like mid-level worker until he kind of takes his coins and runs away with them,
Exactly. Do you kind of feel like the Pentacles court cards are also a little bit of a witchy family? Like they're more earth witchy?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think no matter
Pagans.
what, we can, we're like druid, like Jekanovia, because Jekanovia is definitely our Queen of Pentacles, right? But
oh God, I think there's
like different magics for each of the suits, for sure.
Right.
I mean, just because I see the Queen of Wands as like the witch of the deck, I mean, I think that there's sort of some magic inherent to each of the suits, just coming out in different ways. I think you're totally on point with saying that they're more like earthy magic, for sure.
Yeah.
Garden
like
witches and
like into celestial things, moon magic.
Totally.
Like I feel like
maybe they're the astrologers.
Oh yeah. Like maybe the Page of Pentacles is that first learning. Like I just figured out about my birth chart, and now
I just learned my moon sign. Yeah.
I just learned my moon and rising, like exactly.
Yeah.
And or maybe they're into like herbs or reading palms or sky reading. Did I say that right? Yeah. So this is what I feel like the energy that I'm getting from the Page of Pentacles.
Yeah, definitely. I totally feel
Hmm.
that. Okay, so let's move on to the Knight of Pentacles. Some characteristics. They're very patient and slow to make decisions. They don't like being put on the spot. They're very practical, almost to a fault. Hasn't quite figured out like the right balance of things. But they're self-assured and confident. Can come off a little bit cocky, but not really an ego thing. They're just really that gifted and they just like kind of know what they're doing. Their word is their bond, and they can get very irritated when somebody breaks a promise or changes plans. Their motto is slow and steady wins the race, which makes them also kind of slow to commit, but once they do, they are loyal as fuck. They like routines and organization, but can't necessarily create their own structure. That's so interesting. I love that take. And they're very motivated by stability. So, who might they be in real life? The career student, like the lifelong student. It's your dedicated coworker who always volunteers for overtime. Maybe if we're looking at kind of shadow work stuff, it's the overconfident young person who has all the opinions without the actual experience. Or maybe it's a person that's actually just really gifted in their craft and somebody who works with their hands. I kind of see that somebody working with their hands thing for all of the pentacles as well.
I don't know why this card is giving me Ross from Friends vibes.
Ah!
Like just hearing you talk, but it's really giving me Ross from Friends vibes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Do you watch This Is Us?
No, and my coworkers keep telling me to get on it, but then they're saying you're gonna cry all the time, and that's why I haven't watched it.
You will cry all the
And
time.
I'm not ready for that because
That's okay.
I cry a lot already.
Yeah.
And then I cry with Grey's Anatomy, so I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, it's true. You
I'm
will
not
cry.
emotionally ready.
I mean, for anybody that does watch This Is Us, I have always seen the Knight of Pentacles as Randall Pearson because he's just like so motivated to just you know, Genevieve was saying, like motivated by structure and like does things kind of by the book. You know, the person that will stay home on the Friday to get the homework done. I think that's very Knight of Pentacles energy and
Yes.
you know, slow and methodical and like Genovia said, slow and steady wins the race. Like they're not in any kind of rush. And so I definitely see Randall as being that way. And actually, Genovia has also put down a TV character, which I'm like, okay, good for her. We know she doesn't watch that much TV. She has said Dr. Murphy from The Good Doctor. I don't remember which doctor that is. I stopped watching The Good Doctor a little while ago. Do you watch it?
No, I don't.
Okay.
This is that one with that guy, the boy from, well, he's not a boy, but he looks like a boy, right? From Bates Motel?
Yes, yeah. He's one of the main characters, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
No, I haven't gotten into it, and I want to because I like that actor.
Oh, okay. She's talking about that character that
I see that.
Yeah, that Freddie Highmore plays. Total Knight of Pentacles, yes. Nice one, Genovia.
Yeah.
And then so for jobs and careers, shift manager, business consultant, salesperson, general laborer, work share coordinator, farmhand, or maybe somebody in the military.
Ooh. I don't know why this popped in my head. What are those people that are in the rodeos that route up the bulls or the horses?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Dress like clowns?
Yeah.
That dress up clowns? Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. I don't know why.
Wrangler. I don't know.
I don't know why, but that popped in my head.
That's so funny. Maybe it's just like the position of this knight on the horse or something. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. Love it.
But this is the night that I was telling you when we had that conversation with Genovia about if the knights were all going out for the night, like they had the opportunity to go out for the night. This is the night that's going to be like, no, you guys, we have work in the morning. Like I got to stay home.
100%.
Like, I don't want to be hung over tomorrow. Like I don't want to deal with that. And then the Knight of Cups is like, fuck this. I'm out. Like I love to drink. We're going to go get this done. The Knight of Swords is with it too. But I feel like the Nine of Wands will go, but will be the one that's going to complain about it the next day.
Oh,
the one that's going to be complaining. Yeah, I feel like the Knight of Wands is going to be burned out and maybe a little bit complaining with the Knight of Swords on that one because the Knight of Cups will be used to a hangover.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. But yeah, I 100% agree. Like, Knight of Pentacles is absolutely the one that's staying home when everybody else is
Oh
going
yeah.
out. And I think that they eventually will let loose, but like, not until everything is done. Like,
Right.
every T has to be crossed, every I has to be dotted. Like, there can't be anything left to chance. Yeah,
Right. And when they do go out, they're responsible drinkers.
I
And they
think
may
so.
only have
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
might. But I still feel like they'll probably dance though. I see
Yeah.
them as a dancer, but like a little stiff.
Yes. Just, that one that's kind of like,
Yeah.
clap their
Just
hands to the
wait.
beat.
There is a clap happening for sure. Yes. It might be
Maybe a
offbeat,
snap.
but
Yeah.
okay, let's move on to the Queen of Pentacles. So, some characteristics. Naturally feels called to care for those around them. Great at creating routines and systems. So, in Jekanovia's research, she says that the Queen of Pentacles was referred to a few times as the human embodiment of the Empress.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I mean, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Totally, totally.
That's why I feel like the Empress is her ancestor.
Yeah, I really like that.
I'm going with that. I'm sticking with that.
Yeah. I feel like we should come up with okay, so the Queen of Wands Queen of Cups ancestor is High Priestess. Queen
For
of
sure.
Pentacles is Empress.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Wands, maybe Magician.
Magician. Yeah.
So Queen of Swords, might be
Justice?
Justice. Yeah,
Maybe.
might be Justice.
Maybe
Maybe
judgment? No. Justice.
Justice for sure. If we remember,
We'll
maybe
have
we
to
can
think
dive
about that.
deeper when we get to the Queen of Swords. Yeah. I really like
Yeah.
this idea, though,
Okay.
of like the majors being some sort of ancestor to
Mm-hmm.
particular cards in the deck. That's cool.
Totally. I like it. I don't know why I came up with this. I don't know.
Because you have a brain and you have an imagination, even though you think you don't. And
Right. Even though I think it's
you're
stupid, but
great
it
at
may
making
not
those
be.
connections. All right, so Queen of Pentacles, honest and trustworthy, very reliable, has a deep connection with nature and the earth's creatures, creates their own abundance in their own way, struggles to follow the status quo, isn't a fan of hard and fast rules, is able to enjoy the moment, celebrates the small successes and everyday joys in life, finds bliss in supporting others, doesn't seek out the spotlight, prefers to work behind the scenes. Once they accept you as one of their own, God help anyone who crosses you. Once trust is broken with this person, it would be a miracle if a second chance is given. Oof,
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
I like that too.
All right. Oh, so the character that she chose is Molly Weasley from Harry Potter, which 100% agree. That is really, really good.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
And like everything that was just said about the Queen of Pentacles pretty much describes Molly if you've never seen Harry Potter, but hopefully you have. Go watch Harry Potter. All right. So who the queen could be in real life, the homemaker or the breadwinner or both. The friend that you call during your tower moment.
Oh.
The parent of the whole friend group, the one who all their kids' friends call mom or dad. That's so cute.
Oh, I love
The
that.
person, yeah, that's really sweet. The person behind the scenes of every event, party, or protest. So, yeah, so like the planner. And then in terms of jobs or careers, CEO, COO, executive assistant, human resources manager, relationship coach, a gardener or landscaper, a farmer, customer service supervisor, the one who takes the I want to speak to the manager calls, event planner, culinary artist, or the stay-at-home parent.
I was thinking farmer too the whole time. Someone that likes to pot plants or that works in the floral department or owns their own flower shop.
Oh,
And does flower arrangements. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Oh, and this queen also, we can't forget that she's all about self-care and will let you know you got to take care of yourself.
Agreed.
And she's very comfortable in her body. Doesn't matter, or their body doesn't matter, what size they are. This queen is very comfortable in their skin.
and could probably like in going back to that like self-care thing, would probably know the exact herb that you need for whatever is going on.
For sure. She'll know what
I
tea you need.
Yes. See, Jekanovia, I feel like you'll appreciate this when you listen. I have chosen Claire Fraser from Outlander for the Queen of Pentacles because she is incredibly resourceful, knows her way around herbs, and she's a healer. I mean, she's basically like, I mean, she's a
Draconovia.
doctor, but she travels back in time, and so she has to work with herbs and shit. And like, she's also kind of a homesteader because she's living in the past. And it's just like, it just is Jekanovia. The person in real life
Yeah,
that is
for
the
sure.
Queen of Pentacles is Jekanovia.
That's for reals. Because every time I think
Yeah,
of the Queen of Pence or the Empress, I always think of her.
always. Yeah, it's the first
Yeah.
person for sure.
We love you.
Okay, let's move on to the King of Pentacles. Characteristics: secure with themselves, the master of their craft, able to generate and accumulate wealth, a generous spirit, dedicated to their goals, but have found a groove or a balance so it's not their whole life, willing to share their trade secrets in order to share the abundance, expects hard work and top effort, but rewards it well, mature and classy. Tradition is very important to this person. They adopt leadership roles with ease. They're able to set and maintain solid boundaries. They recognize that being rich doesn't only mean you have a lot of money. They're not very impressed by flashy cars or mansions. They pay more attention to the strength of your character. And sometimes they can be controlling when they're unbalanced or if their security is threatened. So, who they might be in
Hmm.
real life: the anonymous donor to a charity, the friend you can always depend on to help you out when you're in a pinch, the retired parent or grandparent, the neighbor who offers to mow your lawn so that the grass length matches theirs, the high school
Oh,
shop teacher. In the character or person that she's chosen is Oprah Winfrey. Oh my gosh, yes. The woman that went against all odds and built an empire from literally nothing. She did not cower at rejection, but found the inner strength to push and stay the course. She is incredibly wealthy, but is famous for her generosity. That is perfect.
so
Wow.
true.
Yeah.
That was King of Pence all the way.
Yes. So, some jobs or careers for the King of Pentacles: a financial advisor, a career coach, a carpenter or a metalsmith, a tradesperson, a woodworker, a CFO, self made millionaire, like the real kind, like, like not the kind that's given, a measly $1 million from their dad when they were young. The founder of a charity or a company. Oof, I
Oh,
loved that Oprah correspondence. That is great. I will
me too.
forever see this King of Pentacles differently now.
I know. You're right.
Oof,
I liked
Jekanovia.
good one
Yes.
for sure. All right.
Onto
The
the
swords.
swords.
My favorite suit.
Let's do it.
Why, I don't know. But Page of Swords characteristics, I feel like they can be the overthinkers of the pages. They can be the killjoys. I think they're the ones that the page, like if you put the 4 pages together and they want to do some fun shit that maybe might not be something they should get into, this is going to be the one that's going to map out every negative outcome of the situation
Yeah.
before it could even happen. And then it makes you not want to do it. Um, I feel like they can be perfectionists. They can be critical of others, maybe a little anxious, nervous. They can be obsessive. Sometimes they can be harsh on themselves. Definitely likes to be in control of the moment. But I feel like they give you perspective on a situation, or, if you come to them for advice. I feel like they are loyal. They're honest, very action oriented, a critical planner. I just don't feel like the swords core in general. I just feel like they don't like things to be interrupted, or like I just feel
Hmm.
like they have a hard time with it. But let's see,
They like their
they're
focus.
curious.
Yeah.
Yes, they love their focus. They like their clarity.
Hmm.
They don't like their minds to get clouded or
Yeah.
but this Page of Swords, I feel like they're the curious one, very curious as fuck. Young or immature energy. And I feel like this is the masculine of the pages, the masculine energy of the pages. very dedicated, and also can be charming because they're very, like, they have that clever. They're very clever.
Yeah.
So who can they be in real life? That friend that won't let you be reckless, though.
Mm.
So if you're, a hot mess, and you have that friend that's tired of your shit, I feel like this is the one that's going to reel you back in and let when you're about to, basically the one that's checking you when you can't
Reality
check
check. I was
yourself.
just gonna say, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And also that person in the friends group or in your, inner circle that expresses themselves like in a unique way, or just, they're just very unique. And their outfits, I think like this person also has their own fashion style aside from the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups. I think this is the one that has gone through the fashion phases, like has tried them all. Like I think this one has been emo, this one has been goth, this one has,
Yeah.
worn the big baggy pants, this one has, done the crop tops, this one, like I feel like this one has tried it all. And they're not afraid to like make heads turn. Even if their outfit may be hideous, they're gonna rock it.
I was about to say, like, I don't know about these yellow tights and red boots though. Like, it's not
I
working. It's
know.
not working for me, but teach their own.
Right. And I think that that's them. Like, I think they're the ones that are going to wear that off, like, purple leggings with a red dress thing, Like,
Oh my God.
I think,
Okay. You've seen Buffy?
yes,
So one of my picks for the page is Willow. And if you remember Willow's outfits, they are nutso. Like
that's exactly
fuzzy
what I mean
sweat,
with
like
the
a fuzzy
page.
purple sweater with like yellow tights and like an
Yes.
orange
That's
hat.
page sorts.
Yeah.
And they don't give a fuck. And they're fine.
No,
They feel
no,
like
Willow
they
does
look
not
so
care.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I love Willow.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So the person that is just born with skills, too.
Yeah.
That's just a natural talent, and inspires others to just tap into their natural talents. So possible careers or jobs, I feel like maybe a teacher or maybe someone in the military. And I can't really think, I'm having a hard stop of what other jobs or careers this Page of Swords can have.
I mean, I would say anything with, even like intelligence work, like
Yeah.
FBI almost, or
Research work.
yes, research work for sure. Science.
Yeah.
Like
There we
anything in a
go.
research field like that, I would say. I also see the Page of Swords as a Lisa Simpson type character. So just anything where you're pursuing
Yes.
intelligence of any kind, like, yeah, like in a
For
research
sure.
field. Yeah. Or tech, maybe.
That would be good. And I feel like you're right. Like or like because they are the suit of communications, maybe they're in communications or they're
Totally.
learning about it.
Yeah.
Cool. So Knight of Swords, some of the characteristics, they're very accomplished, possibly a genius. There can be very intense. I honestly feel like they're not always a people person.
Mm.
They can make others feel uncomfortable, I feel like, in a social setting. Maybe
Yeah.
they can be that weirdly person that's a little offbeat, somebody that's hard to understand, I feel, at first. Like it takes time to like get to know them. That person that you invite to a social gathering, but secretly wish they don't come. There's always that one person.
Yes. Because they're the awkward person, like you were just saying. Like,
Right. Right.
maybe once you get to know them, it's different. But yeah, in just
Right.
like that small talk social setting, it's awkward as fuck.
Yeah. So you invite them because you feel bad, but you secretly
It's
hope
like
they
you
don't come.
invited the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. Like, can you really leave the Knight of Swords out? Like, it's going to be weird, So
Right.
I'm going
Right.
to invite all four of them.
You might as well. But but they're also they push their own boundaries, so in turn they're not afraid to push others. And I feel like that's also why people don't always want to be around them.
Yeah.
They're always on the move. They can, like I said, they can also be hard to get along with in a work setting. And as I'm saying that, a couple people are popping in my mind, like past work people.
Yeah.
So I know I've worked with a few of Knight of Swords before. But they usually meet their dream goals because, they're very accomplished and they're smart as fuck. I think they are very smart and they make sure that they are heard. They're very opinionated. so that they can cut you with it. I feel like they can be very abusive. Like as a shadow, in terms of shadow side, I think that their words can hurt, and they can be harassing. They love attention, but they're good at multitaskers. I feel like they're good multitaskers.
Yeah.
Who can they be in real life? Maybe a senator, some type of like pillar of the community, a corporate boss that fights for change. So like somebody maybe that goes into a job, knows that there's like definite need of change and that will fight for change. Or maybe that moves into that corporate position where they've, you know, spoken what they needed to, or they've said what they needed to say. Like they've proven that change needs to happen. They've gotten that position where they can make a difference. And I feel like that's the Knight of Swords kind of energy that I get from them.
Mm-hmm. Changemaker for sure.
Yes. They're doctors, I feel too. Lawyers, they're into journalism. They can be a radio host or
Ooh.
just leader. Yeah. Or leader of the debate team. But radio hosts, I thought that was kind of interesting because I feel like most radio hosts say what they want to say. It doesn't matter if they offend people or, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's true.
Like, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
they're
is
fun
good
as
and
fuck.
bad, right? Like,
Right.
yeah.
Because they get ratings.
Yeah, true.
You know, they still get ratings.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
we don't often associate like, I mean, impulsivity is something that we usually talk about with like the fire energy, but I see that there's like a little bit of impulsivity here too. If we're just looking at the visual, I mean, the knight is going so hard, right? So
right. So Queen of Swords characteristics. So I feel like this is like very mature female energy. Speaks their truth. She has very high standards. She's also understanding. But I feel like with her understanding, she's not as sensitive as the Queen of Cups. I feel like she's the one that's going to hear you out a bit and then tell you, okay, this is what the fuck you need to do.
yeah.
Like, you know, she will give you a little bit of sensitivity, but then she comes from a place where it's like she's been through the hardest shit of out of all the queens.
Yes.
You know, she's the divorced one, maybe once or twice, maybe he's had 3 husbands or you're, you know, like I feel like she's
3
just
partners, whatever. Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Like I feel like this person is just doesn't really have the time to really give you that sensitivity. She's going to say, this is what I think. If you want to cry, go to the Queen of Cups.
Totally.
You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
They can, I think the Queen of Swords can be super blunt, but they're
Right.
never going to sugarcoat things with you. When you
Yes,
need that
and
honesty, when you need that truth, when you need all the realness, like that's who you go to.
But she's also so that's why I feel like sometimes she can come off as the ice queen.
Sure.
She also loves this queen likes their personal space, motivated to find the truth, highly ambitious, likes to understand others, psychology and what motivates them, willing to take risks in love and new experiences, needs attention to detail. Her heart can be guarded just due to some of the life experiences and some of the things that she's gone through.
Yeah.
Or they've gone through. Who can the Queen of Swords be in real life? I feel like the Queen of Swords is a single parent or like a single mother, a widow, or, you know, someone that's lost their partner, or a strict parent. I also feel like that is the bitch of the group that tells it like it is, you know, no regards, sometimes with no regards to their feelings. But she is that go-to for advice because, like you said earlier, when you need that realness, because sometimes we want to vent and have advice, but we don't want to hear the realness.
Exactly.
So I think this is the person you go to when, okay, I'm done being a mess. What do I need to do? And whether it's going to hurt, you're when you're ready to hear it, this is the person you go to.
There's something like really admirable about that quality. Like, I don't know. For anybody that watches or has seen The Americans, I think the Queen of Swords is Elizabeth Jennings. Like, she can be very cold, but there's some like the kind of like integrity that she has is so powerful, and it's just you wish that you could have an ounce of it.
Totally. Because I know I can get emotional, so I benefit from a Queen of Swords.
Yeah.
And
but you can be a Queen of Swords too. I mean, I think
Yes.
we all have our days
Yeah,
when we can embody different energies throughout the tarot, of course, right? But I
for sure.
mean, you can definitely be very Queen of Swords.
I honestly feel like I relate to that queen the most out of the four.
Yeah.
I used to think it was the Queen of Wands, but truthfully, I honestly think it's the Queen of Swords, and why I love the sword suit so much.
Yeah, for sure.
So I also feel like this Queen of is the classy one out of the queens with the
Hmm.
classy outfits. She would
Yes.
be she would be Myrtle from Coven with her outfits, and
Ooh.
yeah, because she was always wanting shit to be fair. She didn't like, how yeah, she just wanted everything to be the way it was,
Yep.
following the why can't I think of words today? The council. She was
Yes.
always, yeah, so I feel like she's the
She was
Queen of Swords.
never ooey gooey. She was always
Nope.
just like pretty stoic, very independent. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
But
and
looked
then
good.
hella good.
Yes.
Love her outfits. Um, so yeah, professions or careers, thinking a principal or a divorce lawyer, a mental
Hmm.
health counselor, someone on the school board, another corporate boss, a researcher or an editor, a person in IT, internet or computer communications, nursing, psychology, a professor, or a lecturer.
So the character that I brought up, she's posing as an American, but she's actually a Russian spy. And I feel like you
Ooh,
have to have like that like stoicism, that like stiff kind of cold exterior to like be able to be undercover like that. So I don't know, like undercover work or
true.
something.
Ooh. I actually used to know a couple patients that were undercover detectives,
Oh yeah.
and they would come in looking like different people because they would outgrow their beards or their mustache or their hair or change their hair color
Right.
or
Yeah.
dress different, and it's pretty cool. And those
Yeah,
people
that
were
is neat.
always very stone faced,
Yeah.
not very personable, but you could tell there's some wisdom there or something there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot
Mhm.
underneath all that silence.
Finally down to the King of Swords. Characteristics for the King of Swords: we have a logical thinker, very, very charming, very seductive, has a dry sense of humor, but is fair, does not praise others as often. But when you're praised by the King of Swords, it's a big fucking deal. And
Right.
I actually, I work with a doctor that's a fucking king of swords. Like, you will bust your ass for this doctor, go above and beyond, and this doctor will never acknowledge you. But that doesn't mean that they don't appreciate you or think you're good. But that moment that she compliments you on something, you're like, "Excuse me, who the you talking to me?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm
It's a
like,
big
"What?"
moment. Yeah.
It's a big moment, yeah.
Hmm.
And so, like, I feel like that's the king of swords. But I feel like sometimes they can be a little bit manipulative, maybe a bully, or just lacks feelings. They hide their feelings well, like, and they don't tolerate or no tolerance for others' ideas if it doesn't align with them. And
Hmm.
then they can be like a gaslighter.
Oh.
Yeah. Who can they be in real life? That know-it-all friend. But I feel like the most organized person in the group. So probably the adult of the group. Um, not me.
Which isn't
Um,
always the oldest person in the group. Like sometimes the
right.
adult of the group, yeah, doesn't matter about age.
But the king is that parent that will do whatever for you, but won't really be as emotionally supportive, but is that parent that will do whatever the fuck it takes. Like,
Yeah.
to just very supportive, very strong. That person, and is that person in general that's going to show up for you when you just really need it the most.
Yeah.
And then possible jobs or careers. I feel like this is a chef or a surgeon, a lawyer, a pilot, or a mentor of some kind, a financial advisor. I know we've said therapist so many times, but
Yeah.
I feel like this, yeah.
I mean, there's going to be overlap with these cards though. Like they're
Oh, for
not,
sure.
they all contain multitudes, but I feel like the King of Swords could also be the politician.
That's the politician of the court cards. Like, I feel the others are into politics, but this is the politician.
Because there's something about like public speaking that I see coming from the King of Swords too. And I think like, you know, you get King of Swords upright or you get good cards around the King of Swords and it's more like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You get it in reverse with like some shitty cards around it or some like not so great cards and like that's your Donald Trump or something, you know, like it really can go either way.
The Hierophant in reverse with the King of Swords in reverse.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely different ways for that like politician energy to come through.
Yeah. I totally see that though about the speaker. Because I feel like they've mastered those skills. They've mastered being into communications and so they are the politicians of the kings.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's true. Like, I know there was definitely some overlap. And I mean, all of us made different notes for this episode. So we're all going to like bring different sort of subjective takes on the cards. But it's not like it would be impossible to say the Page of Wands is exactly one thing, whereas the Page of Cups is exactly another thing. I mean, like, that's not really how tarot works. Like, I mean, I guess I see that more in the majors. The majors feel more like that archetypal energy in a way, but yeah, I think there's always going to be overlap. I mean, even still with the majors, like we're talking about them being ancestors of certain cards. So there are, you know, there's echoes all throughout the deck, I think. Yeah.
For sure.
Did we decide, can we think of what the Queen of Swords' ancestor might be? Like, I mean, I kind of dig Justice. I think that makes sense, even if it's just for the sword, you know, but I mean, I'm just going to like quickly look up a picture of the Major Arcana because for some reason I can't think of all the cards off the top of my head.
I don't know why I want to assign the Temperance to as an ancestor,
I was thinking that too. Yeah. I mean,
you know what? We need to talk about this more. The ancestors in tarot.
I think so too. I really like that as a way to dive into the cards for sure. To see those echoes throughout the deck, right?
Right.
And I think maybe that is just another way of figuring out how to understand the different elements of each of the cards. This is a great idea for season 3 when we're exploring the Major Arcana more in depth. We should definitely have a section for the cards where it's like, who would they be the ancestors of? Yeah.
Right. And how we see the echoes throughout the deck.
Exactly. So yeah, so stay tuned for that episode coming in season 3 for sure. Yeah. Yay. Well, this was fun. Yay. This was an awesome way to look at the court cards. It was such a great idea. Miss Elena, thank you for suggesting it.
Aw, welcome. It was me having, you know, one of them high moments. I'm kidding.
I mean, that's fine if it was. Who cares?
Hey, I get the best ideas when I'm at home, just relaxing, and then I'm in my Snoop Dogg moment, and I'm like, wait a minute. I got an idea.
Yeah, so this has been so much fun. Let us know what you guys think, listeners. Like, are there characters that you would assign to each of these court cards? Are there people in real life that you know? Like, what are the personalities that you see coming through? We definitely want to know what your take is too. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Tarot Coven Cast. Stay tuned for our next episode when we'll be interviewing another Coven member. And until then, everyone, keep making magic.